T.I.'s son, King Harris, has been arrested after not appearing in court and some other things connected.
Trying to coddle him for. Let the man walk out, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
Yeah, so him being arrested isn't really like the shocker. It's him coming out and his, I guess, reaction to it, right? Because everybody's saying, King, you grew up privileged, bro. Why are you going down this path? Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So,
The story of King Harris, the son of rapper T.I., has been spiraling in ways that no one could have predicted. What started as a series of viral moments of a young man trying to prove himself has turned into one of the most heartbreaking scandals in recent hip-hop memory. And the latest reports, rumors that King was allegedly assaulted in the most horrific way possible behind bars, have sent shockwaves through the entire community. This isn't just another celebrity scandal anymore. This is a tragedy that has forced millions to confront the ugly, hidden truths of the prison system, and it has left T.I. and his family absolutely broken, begging for justice and answers that may never come. To really understand how we got here, you have to rewind to the rise of King Harris in the public eye. King wasn't just any celebrity kid. He was the son of one of the most respected figures in rap. From the outside, King's life looked like a dream. Fame, money, opportunity, and doors open to him that most kids could only imagine. But from a young age, King showed signs that he wanted to carve out his own identity, separate from his father's legacy. Instead of staying in the shadows, he chose to step directly into the spotlight, often in ways that raised eyebrows.
I graduated. That's the only good thing they posted of me going viral. I'm not on the media's good side. I don't know why, but
He was brash, outspoken, and reckless, constantly posting videos on Instagram Live where he would argue with strangers, boast about his lifestyle, and challenge anyone who doubted him. It didn't take long for people to start labeling him as arrogant, spoiled, or out of touch. Clips of him arguing in restaurants went viral, where he claimed he grew up in dangerous environments despite being raised in luxury. Social media mocked him relentlessly, saying he was desperate to be seen as tough, as street, when in reality he had never truly known struggle. And yet, despite all the criticism, King doubled down. He leaned even harder into the persona, flashing cash, making threats online, and daring people to test him. But here's the thing about projecting toughness online. It doesn't always translate to the real world. And when King found himself on the wrong side of the law, reality came crashing down. His arrest and sentencing to jail time became a moment of collective schadenfreude for the internet.
I smell some weed in the car, so our procedures, we gotta check it. Is there anything else that I need to be aware of?
man, I don't want y'all to check the car.
I can't hear you.
I don't want y'all to search the car.
Well, I understand that, but if I smell weed, that's probable cause to search the vehicle.
You're not gonna find nothing. You're gonna find my guns.
Just multiple guns?
I got a stick, the AR.
What's your stage name so I can look you up?
King Harris.
King Harris?
You know T.I.?
Huh?
T.I.?
Who's that?
That's my father.
Memes flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. People laughed, saying, "Now let's see how tough he really is." What they didn't realize was that jail is no joke, especially for someone young, inexperienced, and carrying the baggage of being a celebrity's child. Prison is not a place where fame protects you. In fact, it can make you a target. People inside want to test you, break you, and humiliate you. And unfortunately, King Harris found himself right in the middle of that storm. Reports began surfacing that he wasn't adjusting well, that he had already been in conflicts with other inmates. Rumors of fights, arguments, and threats swirled around him. The image he had built online quickly dissolved, and suddenly he was just another young man trapped in an environment designed to crush your spirit. And then came the whispers. Whispers that grew louder and more detailed until they could no longer be ignored. People began saying that King Harris had not only been struggling, but that he had been victimized in the most unimaginable way possible. Allegations surfaced that he had been assaulted, and while no official reports have confirmed every detail, the reaction from his father, T.I., told the world everything it needed to know.
Like, I don't have no gang. I ain't in no gang. I got family. I got motherfuckers who willing to risk their lives and freedom to die by me and mine. You hear me? Why don't play with me, man? Don't play with my motherfucking child, ever.
T.I., usually composed, usually confident, appeared shaken to his core. His pleas for justice, his outrage at the system, his emotional collapse, it all painted a picture of a man whose son had been deeply harmed. Imagine for a moment being in T.I.'s shoes. For decades, he built a reputation as one of Atlanta's kings of rap, a hustler who made it big, a man who fought against the odds and came out on top. He's faced arrests, controversies, and industry battles, but through it all, he has always maintained a sense of control. Now imagine watching your son, your flesh and blood, crumble in a system you cannot fight. Imagine hearing whispers of an assault so devastating that it robs your child of dignity, safety, and peace of mind. No amount of money, influence, or fame can undo that. And for T.I., that reality has been soul-crushing. Tiny King's mother has been equally devastated. Known for her fierce protectiveness of her children, she has reportedly been unable to cope with the news. Friends close to her say she hasn't been sleeping, that she cries constantly, and that she's been consumed with rage and grief. A mother's love is different. It's primal, it's unshakable, and to hear that her son may have gone through something like this behind bars is enough to break her entirely. For both parents, this has been nothing short of a nightmare, and the world has noticed. As soon as the reports began circulating, social media erupted. The hashtag started trending, fans and supporters began demanding justice, and suddenly the jokes stopped. For months, people laughed at King's antics. They mocked his tough guy act, they roasted his viral videos, and they cheered when he was locked up. But once the rumors of assault surfaced, people realized just how dark this story had become. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was trauma. This was tragedy. This was a young man's life being shattered. Activists, community leaders, and even fellow celebrities began weighing in. They pointed out that prison assaults are far too common and often dismissed as part of the punishment, when in reality they are crimes that destroy lives. They reminded the public that making jokes about what happens in prison is a form of cruelty that normalizes violence. And suddenly, King Harris became a symbol, not just of a celebrity scandal gone wrong, but of the countless young men suffering in silence behind bars. T.I., for his part, has been relentless. He has reportedly begged prison authorities for answers, demanded accountability, and even called on his fans to put pressure on the system. His voice has been raw with emotion, not the voice of a rapper or an entertainer, but the voice of a desperate father. Every tear, every outburst, every plea has reminded the world that this is bigger than music, bigger than celebrity drama. This is about justice, but justice in situations like this is complicated. The prison system is notoriously opaque, often hiding behind bureaucracy and silence. Proving allegations of assault behind bars is difficult, and victims are often too traumatized or too afraid to speak openly. And while T.I.'s influence might shine a light on his son's case, what about the countless others whose parents don't have millions of followers or media attention? That's the question haunting fans right now. If something like this could reportedly happen to T.Y.'s son, what does that say about the nameless, faceless young men sitting in cells tonight with no one to protect them? For King himself, the road forward looks uncertain. Trauma like this doesn't just go away. It lingers, it haunts. And when you mix that with the brutality of jail life, the impact could be devastating. Fans who once mocked him now find themselves praying for his recovery, both physically and mentally. The same internet that laughed at him is now holding its breath, waiting to see if he can come out of this with his spirit intact. The Harris family has always lived in the public eye, but this chapter of their lives has stripped away all the glitz and glamour. What we're seeing is raw, unfiltered human pain. A father begging for his son, a mother shattered by grief, a family clinging together in the face of a nightmare, and a young man caught in the crossfire of choices, fame, and a system that is as cruel as it is unforgiving. The outrage isn't slowing down either. Fans are flooding comment sections, tagging politicians, calling out prison officials, and demanding that someone be held accountable. The conversation has shifted from gossip about a celebrity kid to a national discussion about prison abuse, accountability, and the failures of the justice system. And while nothing can undo what has reportedly happened to King Harris, the hope is that this tragedy forces real change, that it sparks awareness, and that it reminds everyone that nobody, celebrity or not, deserves to suffer like this. For T.I., the fight has just begun. He has vowed not to stop until justice is served, until his son's dignity is restored, and until those responsible are held accountable. Whether the system listens remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: this story is far from over. The world is watching, the fans are outraged, and the Harris family will never be the same again. And as the dust continues to settle, one haunting truth remains. Behind the headlines, behind the gossip, and behind the fame, this is about a young man who needed help, a father who could not protect him, and a society that has turned a blind eye to the horrors of prison life for far too long. King Harris's story is shocking, tragic, and heartbreaking, but it is also a wake-up call. A call that T.I., Tiny, and millions of fans will not let go unanswered. Not let go unanswered.